Hi guys, in this session we will learn how to split the number of dump files evenly across multiple mount points when we export the data. This situation arises when we face space constraints in our mount point. For example, I have only 482 MB remaining in my UO1 directory, but I need to export some data inside this directory, but I cannot do that. So what I will do is I'll split the number of dump files across these different mount points. What I will do is I will check the size of the database. To check the database size, you can use full is equal to y and estimate only is equal to y. So full is for exporting the database itself, and full with the combination of estimate you can check the size of the whole database. If you execute it, this will show you an estimate size of the database using blocks method. So the database size is shown as 7 GB. So if you see, I almost have 7.5 GB available, and I have 4 GB available in /apps01, and in UO1 I don't have any space. Now what I'll do is I'll create a PAR file and specify the user ID. So if we want to split the number of dump files across different directory, we don't need to specify the directory parameter. Instead, we have to specify the directory in dump file parameter. Before that, I'll create new logical directory to other mount point /apps01 and UO1. I will create /UO1. I created two directories for two different mount points, and I will specify these directories inside my PAR file. I will say appdir and UO1 TARS. Here you need to specify the dump file name, exp underscore full underscore 01 dot dmp. Instead of %u, you are manually specifying the number of dump files with a number. I'll again say dpexp 02 dot dmp comma 03 dot dmp comma 04 dot dmp comma 05 dot dmp comma. Now I will specify the export dump file for apps01 directory. Now I will say full 06 dot dmp comma 07 dot dmp, and here you can say 08.dmp. So I'm just splitting the or distributing the data as per the size or the space availability. So I specify almost 80% of the dump file to dp.exp directory, as I have almost 7.5 GB available, and in apps.1 directory I only have 4 GB of space available, so that's the reason I am giving 2 dump files. And in uo1 directory I have only 482 MB is available, so that's the reason I am giving only 1 dump file under uo1 directory. I will still specify one more dump file called 09, or I will specify 08.dmp under apps.1, and here I will change it to 09. Now I specify the log file exp_full.log, and here you can also specify the file size, max file size. I will say as 300 MB. This is because my /uo1 directory size is almost 482 MB we have available, so that's the reason we cannot specify more than 482 MB, otherwise we will get dump file exhaust error. So that's the reason we specify the max file size as 300 MB. Now I will say parallel is equal to 8 and full is equal to y. If I export the database, so now I'm going to export very huge dump file, which is the whole database I'm going to export. So it will take quite a couple of hours or couple of minutes. So what I will do is I will use in no hop mode. If you use no hop, then the job will be running in the background, so you don't need to monitor or you don't need to interact with the command line. Even if the command line is expired, still your job will be running in the background. So that's the reason for getting out of timeout error, I just specify no hop exp_full.par, and I will give an ampersand symbol. So if you are giving no hop and if you give ampersand, then you will be able to see the process ID specified. I can remove this username because I already specified user ID. I'll execute it. Now if you see, this is the process ID. I have not specified the job name parameter, so I need to check the log file to identify the job. We can locate the log file. The locate DB is not updated. I will update it. I'll open up a new session. I update DB to update my locate repository. I didn't find the log file in this directory. I will try to manually identify the log file. I didn't find it. I didn't find in this directory as well. I will log in to the database. And check the session long ops. Okay. Now I'll try to locate this log file. Yeah, I found out. My job got started. I'll grab the job ID. exp attach Now if you see, all the 8 worker processes are working on some object. So this is because always we need to specify the number of parallel less than the number of dump files. So here we have almost 9 dump files. So we specified parallelism as 8. So if we specify more than the number of dump file, which is if we specify 10 parallel out of 9 dump files, then some of the worker process may sit idle, they will not be working. So that's the reason it's always recommended practice by Oracle itself. So we have to specify like that. If you see the dump files, you can see the different dump files written in different locations. Almost 4 or 5 dump files are written in our default directory, and the newly created directories were apps01 and u01. So I specified 3 dump files in the directory and other 3 dump files in this directory. So we have split the records and return and made the Expdp to write to different locations.